All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. This was actually a user request, so I'm going to be covering HUBC. Not sure how many videos I can actually make today, but I really did want to knock this out. So, a lot of noise on this one for sure, right? I wouldn't necessarily call this a recent runner yet, but I think a lot of people are starting to believe this thing might take off. Look, I don't know a lot of details on this thing, but I'll give you my technical analysis opinions, right? So that's what we'll do. And what are we going to do before we get into the details? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how this thing is setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. This is the first time I'm covering the stock, so I will draw some horizontal support and resistance lines. And then when we're done up here, look, unfortunately, we cannot use the MACD because we have nothing. We cannot use the RSI because we have nothing, but we will definitely spend some time talking about volume, okay? Really quickly, if you can please like and subscribe, it does really well with the YouTube algorithms. But even if you don't, just thank you so much for your time in watching this thing, okay? And then, hey, if you disagree with any of my opinions, please throw it in the comments, okay? I'm not here pretending to be all knowing. I definitely don't get every single thing right. And I would love your opinions, especially if they help me realize something I didn't know. You know what I mean? So it's a two-way street here. Okay, let's get into the details. First and foremost, look, there's no MACD and there's no RSI. I'm not here pretending I know the math on how these things work, but I'm pretty sure I need about either 12 or 26 days for this thing to hit. And I think I need like 14 days for this to hit. I'm pretty sure that's what the numbers next door mean. But again, I actually have zero idea for sure. I know this much. This was the 8th day of trading because this day we get an 8 moving average line. You can see this day we do not have an 8 moving average line, right? So that much at least I for sure know. And look, the 8 moving average is a really important line. It's that much more important when it's the only line, okay? And it's gonna be the only line until we get to day 20, and then we get an orange little dot that'll eventually turn into a line as well, right? But look, we break the 8. By no means do we get confirmation. Yeah, I'm glad we're over it, but well below 50%. This was a bad thing right here. This was a very bad Monday start here. This actually gaps below the 8, but makes a very, very beautiful day. Closes at 10%. Clearly, a lot of people thought it was going to go above 2, and we'll talk about why $2 is pretty important in a second, right? But yeah, there was definitely a few losers here that got hit, right? Somebody bought over $2, bought around 204 and watched it come down to 160. I don't know if they sold or not, 170, whatever, right? But yeah, someone got hurt up here, okay? What I really don't like is this. I really don't like that we couldn't get over this day. I always say you have to do better than the big candle to the left, right? And yeah, it looked like we were about to destroy it, but end of the day, we didn't. We couldn't even match it. You know what I mean? So I don't like that we closed at 67 instead of like 71, right? Even a penny higher. What is this day? Okay, so look, this day closed at 67. So we're in line with this. But again, I'm not drawing a line there. That's actually kind of insignificant to me. It really did need to beat this. And it didn't. So I'm telling you that for me, I always say 80% of the work is up here. That's bad. That was a really important line it needed to break. And that sucks. You know what I mean? After this, the next two important lines are pretty much that $2 and then a little over 250. So why $2? Look, I'm not necessarily saying this is exactly the middle point, but that $2 line is roughly 50% candle, right? You have about half of it up here, half of it down here. I often mention that 50% of a big candle is a good natural resistance. And I do believe that's what happened here. There was someone that bought here really anticipating it was going to go to 250 and just really disregarded this line, because again, you also beat the wick. I don't care about wicks at all, but I'm just kind of giving you the mindset of what I do believe happened up here. But look, what needs to happen tomorrow? This bad boy actually has to open above 170. I generally don't talk about the open, and you know what? I'll even take that back because you know what? Hell, for all I know, it's going to open here but then go up. So let me take that back. What must happen is we must close above 170. And really, even if it closes at like 171, like little like an insignificant 170 break, I kind of would be okay with it because look, two things are going to happen. One, we're going to get a break and confirmation of the 8 moving average. We actually haven't had that happen yet. And two, I'm telling you, breaking this line, and breaking means closing over it, breaking is important for sure, for sure. After this line, we'll talk about 2. Look, obviously, if it gets to 2 or beyond, that's going to be beautiful, right? But I don't necessarily need a $2 break or a $2 close tomorrow for me to be happy. Let's just break 170, then let's break $2, then let's break 2. I'm a good fan of slow and steady. I actually really am. You know what I mean? So I don't need the monster push. After $2, it's pretty much the top of this guy. If you can break the top, you go into all-time highs and you have nothing but blue skies and no resistance, and it's a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? So clearly the goal is getting over this line, but I'm telling you, don't trade with your eyes. You know what I mean? Like don't tell yourself it's so close to that, because it's actually a significant percentage away from that. It almost needs to do like it almost needs to double, right? It needs at least another $1 to get right there. And we're talking about $1.50 stock, right? Give or take. So it's a significant percentage to get to that. So again, I'm so good with slow and steady. 172, then we'll start talking 250. You know what I mean? Real quick, a couple good, couple bad here. I like the volume today. I am glad that we actually did better than these 2 days right here. And it looks like we actually got to, look, again, 50% candle means way more up here than down here. But yeah, a lot of the same like thoughts and process I actually do use down here as well, right? So I'm glad we at least got to around 50, right? Give or take, whether it's there or there, whatever. We're around that. And look, tomorrow's going to matter, right? Are we going to go from 5 million to 24, basically go 5x, and then drop down to like 50% or worse? Or can we actually make a little better volume tomorrow? Take this thing to like the 30 million range, 35 million. Oh my gosh, 35 million would be so nice. Even 30 would be really nice. You know, obviously things would get silly if we start hitting 40, 50, right? Good volume can make this thing go wild. But yeah, let's get a nice little gradual increase. Let's get a nice little gradual break, and that can do really well here. I'm telling you, this doesn't need to hit a home run tomorrow to be a winner. If this thing goes single, 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 yeah, someone will bring that bad boy home for sure. You know what I mean? So just keep things in perspective. And one more time, if this doesn't break, but we actually get really close or even wick it, that's a nasty percentage between where we are. Look, it takes a few cents to hit a double-digit percent. I'm trying to hit $1, right? Like, give or take again, obviously, right? But you can make some nasty percentages here, even if we don't break this and go silly, silly all-time highs as people are thinking, right? So just, again, trying to keep a little perspective here. Look, this is not a good weekly, actually, right? We're pretty much on it. This thing, wait, hold on. What am I looking at? Oh, this is the close, right? It opened up here and closed down here. Duh, silly. Yeah, we're literally on this line right here. I'm not drawing any new lines here, but yeah, get over 170. I'll start to believe here. Again, there's very little on the weekly here, right? So there's not too much we can do, but yeah, I do, and I'm glad that we're still relatively early in the week, because hopefully the next few days of trading will actually bring us over last week's trading, right? We only need, like, if the next few days are the same as these 2 days, we'll be good, right? I didn't say that well, but yeah, I like that it looks like volume's going to catch up, right? So yeah, I'm okay with that on the weekly. But yeah, it all comes down to what I think these two numbers really are. So not crazy technical analysis. Again, there's not too much you can do here, but hopefully I at least gave a little better perspective than just what I think people are doing, which is praying that this thing breaks 250 and runs. Like, it doesn't really need to happen to do some good things. So hey, I sincerely appreciate your time. Let me know if you disagree with anything. Otherwise, like I said, more videos are coming.